Welcome everybody back to another live Reacts video. I'm your host Tom Quiet, and
I'm Jeff Cabana.
Yes, you are.
I am.
You jumped the gun a little bit, but that's all right.
Sorry.
So I
try it again.
No, you're fine. So as per usual, we are bringing you another Reacts video. Jeff and I started doing these on a shorter scale back 2 years ago, I think, when we were doing the original listening room show.
Yep.
We did like shorts reacts to like mosh pits and shit, which was always kind of interesting.
It was fun.
Yeah. And so I started doing these reacts videos by myself, and I was always kind of waiting till the next time I was out here to kind of bring you in on these.
Yeah.
And there's this channel that I've grown accustomed to called Drumeo, which I think maybe you've heard of it.
Oh, yeah. No, I follow him on Facebook and social media and stuff.
Yeah.
I like this stuff. I'm a drummer.
Yeah. And that's kind of why I wanted to bring you in, and for these videos specifically, you know, because there's a lot of stuff about drumming that I just don't know or I can't comprehend or whatever it is. And so I thought it'd be kind of cool to bring you in for these. We're going to watch one of their more recent videos with the drummer from Megadeth.
Nice, he's good.
Where he learns a Blink-182 song as fast as possible.
Okay.
Now, I kind of prefaced this a little bit ago before we jumped on here, that sometimes these are drumless tracks, and sometimes he just has to learn it on the fly. As you know, there's a couple of different ways that they do this video. So I'll be kind of interested to see how they do this. So let's get this rolling.
Cool.
All right.
Is that a punk shuffle? Can I call it that?
You've now trademarked that as the punk shuffle.
I don't know what a punk shuffle is, but okay.
Hey, Travis
knew
Barker's
exactly
amazing,
what he meant.
So, you know,
Okay.
listen to his drums any day.
All right, so
here we go.
We're going to give you a song, and it has the drums in there, and we want to film your process of learning as close as possible.
Okay, so that's good. It's not a drumless track.
It's going to be Bleed by Meshuggah. I can feel it coming now.
It's not Bleed, but that's a good idea, so we could change it if you want.
That's another one of those where I might just
Is that
a huge hi-hat?
sneak out
Could be like a
I
16-inch.
think we had Dirk
Thomas
here,
is
but-
in the corner.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like that
We're
drum
gonna give
kit is
you a
just
new
massive.
song off
Yeah.
the Blink-182
It's pretty
album
extra.
That's
Yeah.
coming out.
Ah.
You can take as many
Okay.
listens.
Yeah,
you can
I
try
have
it
seen
out.
their new stuff here.
Yeah.
We want to
But
film
he's
your
from that
process
era of
as you
metal.
would in
Yeah.
the
He
studio
probably
or
uses
for
every
sessions
single
or
drum.
whatever, so,
Probably.
Hey,
Yeah,
Travis
he does.
Barker's amazing, so you know I'll listen to his drums any day.
Travis Barker is
All right, let's do it.
like a solid
Oh, yeah, he's
dude.
a great drummer.
He's a great drummer and a solid dude. Like, now, as a drummer yourself, like, have you ever been put in a situation like this where you got to learn the song like quickly?
Yeah, kinda. It's happened once or twice.
And what's like obviously they're giving us like tips on what they're seeing happening, but from your perspective, like what's the...
So if you got a short time to learn a song before you have to perform it, nothing fancy, unless it's an integral part of the song, like we leave the fills out, just hold the beat down. Make sure you got the changes right.
This one I'm not gonna do in one listen. I need to get a few more details down. But yeah, that's cool. I
An
love
experienced drummer like him
groovy
obviously doesn't
triplet
need to
drum
stick
beat
to
there.
that, but
Yeah, like is that a punk shuffle? Is that what I can?
So
can
what
I
is a
call it
punk
that?
shuffle?
You've now trademarked that as
basically
the
like
punk
do
shuffle.
It's great. Like I love the fills. I love the.
It is. It's a
very
punk
catchy,
shuffle.
Okay,
chorus,
gotcha.
very catchy melody, nice song construction. Yeah, future hit. Usually what I do when I
a
start
fun
is I
beat.
start with a structure. If it's especially in a sitting like this where I do like full listens through, I'll start with just mostly getting the amount of bars, what's the intro, what's the verse, what's the chorus, etc., etc. Of course, you can get really detailed with that and do 20 listens, but
Continue.
in this case, we're not going to do that because we'll still be here in 4 days. So.
Yeah, that's the first thing I would do
let's
is
hear it
count
again.
how many measures for each part, the verse, chorus, drops, changes. You know, mostly kind of multiples of 4.
Yeah.
See, this one you got to learn the
So
fills.
now I
It's an
got a
integral
little
part
bit
of the
more
song.
of the
Yeah, for sure.
of the drums down. Mostly completed like kind of my few little issues that I still had with the structure, like just little bits that I wasn't perfectly sure about. And then now I wrote down kind of some very slappy, messy drums, but yeah, to kind of have an idea, you know. So
Nice. And do you
And so did that
typically
make any
do this
sense
where
to you?
make all
A little
your
bit.
notes
I only
first
looked at it for a
before you
second, but
play
yeah.
anything? Or do you ever kind of mix where you get half a chart, try playing through it, and then finish the chart?
No, I usually do the notes, complete that. Obviously, if it's like, something complex, then I will probably learn bits of the song and then assemble them. In this case, when it's a fairly straightforward song that doesn't have any like major tempo changes or any major like super technical parts or whatever, I'll just basically sit down, play the song, and try to follow along, which I'm gonna do now.
Yeah.
So you'll see
Any
how
major,
good or bad I fare.
technical
But
parts. Probably not going to learn it on the fly so
it's
easily.
like about efficiency. I remember when I did this.
And like
with,
obviously this is
with
a
the
little
Megadeth
bit
songs, they gave me, I
different
think,
of
18
a
songs
situation
to
where
learn
they're
when
just
I
doing it for
first,
fun. But if you're doing it
was
for a
contacted
show,
by the band.
like you said, just
So
kind
I
of
had
getting
10 days,
the
and so I
Yeah,
started with all
the
songs
basics.
I
You got till
did.
tomorrow to
Started
learn
with
this.
those,
Yeah.
got that hard
Yeah.
work out of the way.
Just getting a countdown, knowing where to
so I
stops and
sat down,
starts are, where the
practiced them,
changes are.
Yeah.
And then I started bringing
That's
in
most
the
important.
ones that really everybody
Making sure
should
you
know.
hold the groove.
yeah.
All right, you want to give it a shot?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, here it is.
It's just interesting because I haven't heard this song yet. I know it's out there, but
Somebody uses menial symbols.
what's that?
Oh, his symbol brand.
Uh,
He definitely got a sponsorship.
Now this is going to sound like a stupid, uninformed person, but is it, as a drummer, is it hard to switch up styles from like metal to like more of a punk style, or is it?
No, not incredibly. There's
Okay.
a couple of things that are different. So there's a lot of ska in punk, and that's kind of like close to some reggae. And
Okay.
it is hard to go from like if you're a metal rock drummer to reggae at back
Yeah.
because you're literally playing on the opposite part
Okay,
of the beat.
gotcha,
So ska can be really hard for like a metal drummer.
Okay.
But this isn't a ska beat.
gotcha,
It's straight 4/4 rock.
gotcha. We're in a really interesting time right now where a lot of these bands that we grew up listening to or were around in the early 2000s, they're starting to come back now 20 years later and release music. Like I saw Offspring release something, which is, I'm kind of interested to go check that out here at some point.
Right. In a fill part like this, everyone could just basically you stick to the timing, but use your flair, your style.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it's always kind of interesting because he's obviously a professional, I'm sure.
Right,
He's
right.
been in worse situations where he's got like an hour and he's got a...
Probably not though. He's always been in like an original band.
Yeah.
You know. It's always been like they didn't do a lot of covers.
Yeah. But at some point, when all else fails, just go with your gut.
Right. Well, it's like, any drummer that's been playing a long time can usually listen to something once or twice and get it down.
Yeah.
I hear that now. I'll hear something and I'm like, oh, I know exactly what he's playing.
Yeah. And I guess that's the magic of live music, because if you miss a fill or you miss a...
Right. Nobody's going to remember
Yeah.
that.
Nice, man.
Sweet.
Something like that.
First pass.
Yeah, I nailed the ending on this one. That makes me
Nice.
happy.
No,
That's
he nailed
always
it.
very
He
important.
killed it.
Nailed the ending.
Like I said,
Then
don't
at
know where the
least to give
stops and starts
impression, oh, you
are.
must have known
Yeah.
where he was at.
It was all planned.
No,
He
that
kept
was
the
cool,
groove.
man. I
He,
love beats like
he
that.
held
I
it
love,
down.
Do you think you could
know,
do something like that?
Beats
Definitely.
that are like
For
in
that song, yeah.
zone of tempo where there's really a lot of potential.
Don't give
for
me any
growth.
ideas.
Now
And obviously
take
that
Travis
wasn't my
Barker
best
and
effort
play him
at
a
that,
Megadeth
but,
song and let's see if it
Right.
replicates, because Megadeth's a little more thrash.
The swing in those
Well,
kinds
what
of
was
beats,
interesting
so obviously
is
with
one of
Travis,
the
it's
previous videos they did
solid
was
as
they
hell.
gave
Is
like
there,
a pop drummer.
Anything on that pass that you'd want, like if you were to do another pass that you would want to tighten up or change or...
Yeah, I mean, if I were in the studio and doing this for real, I am in the studio,
Yeah.
but if I were actually recording this song, what I would do is I would start like this and then, slowly feel out my way on certain parts to see what would work
Right.
and what
Try
would,
different things.
maybe
Yeah.
could be different or better. A lot of times I'll talk with the producer too and be like, hey, what do you think about this part? Or do you have any ideas for this? Sometimes I'm just like, I don't have a specific idea. Do you think this is cool what I'm doing, or should I try something with the
And
open
I think that's
pad
something a
or
lot of
the ride or
musicians kind of
whatever?
forget is you can lean on
Just
your
kinda go
producer.
through it and
It's
do a
not
bunch of
Right.
takes,
Well, if you have one.
more or
Yeah.
less, sometimes it's 3,
I'm my own
sometimes
producer,
it's
so I don't lean.
12 or,
Yeah.
whatever it
Well, what
takes,
I'll do
really.
is when we're creating a
But it's
song
this process
during the
of,
course
just
of it,
kind of
I'll
sinking
play
into the
as
music
many
and
different beats as I
seeing what
can
it
for that
brings,
one
and I
second.
feel
and see what sticks.
When you hear a song, you know, multiple times in a row like that, it really kind of opens up for me. Like I start being like, okay, this works, and you know, you start piecing it together in a way. So this by no means would be a final take, but it would be like a starting point from where to like build, you know, what it would be. And I like playing full takes when I can. For example, for the new Megadeth album, The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead, I did full takes on a lot of the songs. You know, and the way I approach drums is I try to kind of tell a story that evolves throughout the song, you know. And especially with this kind of music where, like this song, for example, Blink-182, it's very like, you know, there's a clear verse and a chorus and a break. So you can build things up over time. You're not going to start with your most flashy fill right in the beginning of the song, but as the song goes on, for example,
never start off with your best.
Like in this case, you can
want to progress into something bigger.
By that time,
you know,
give people a reason to stick around, kind of like that old adage.
All right, so that was my take on Blink-182's new song, Edging. And if you want to
I think it's funny
play
it's
it yourself,
called Edging.
you can click on the Drumeo link below.
It's like,
and
what have you guys been doing in your time off?
Tag there for you so you can create your own
That's
version.
funny.
I hope you enjoyed my take on it. Thank you for listening.
Nice, sweet.
And watching.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I always enjoy watching these videos. The ones that are a little bit more interesting are the ones where it's the drumless tracks.
Yeah.
And they have to try and fill in.
Right. No, I like those. I've seen a few of those videos.
There was one where they gave like a pop drummer, like, and she had like a super bass 4-piece drum kit, and they gave her like some heavy metal song, and she had to try and make it work without a double bass and all this stuff. So it was really cool. But once again, thank you all so much for hanging out with us, and we will see you all next week. Remember, if you have anything you'd like us to react to, please send it on over.
Yeah, definitely.
Bye. Cool. I'll have to figure out a way to edit around that.